The room fell silent, the kind of silence that feels heavy, suffocating, as though the air itself had frozen. A man in a crisp tailored suit, his voice sharp as a knife, thundered across the marble lobby of a glass skyscraper, "You don't belong here." His words echoed off the tall walls, making heads turn and whispers spread among the polished employees. In that charged moment, when everyone expected the quiet, shabby-looking janitor to lower his gaze and walk away in shame, he instead lifted his head. His eyes were tired, yes, but they carried a strange kind of fire. And with a steady, trembling voice, he replied, "I'm here for my daughter." The world seemed to stop. Before I take you deeper into this heart-wrenching story of love, sacrifice, and redemption, let me pause for a moment. If you believe in kindness, in second chances, and in the power of love to heal even the deepest wounds, then please make sure to like this video, subscribe to our channel, Royal Stories, and share this with someone who might need hope today. And don't forget to leave your thoughts in the comments, because your voice matters, and your kindness keeps stories like this alive. The janitor's name was Samuel. Most people at the company barely noticed him. He wore the same faded blue uniform every day, his shoulders slightly hunched from years of labor, his hands calloused and cracked. He swept floors, scrubbed bathrooms, emptied trash bins. He was invisible, until this day. What no one knew was that Samuel had once lived a different life. Before tragedy struck, he had been a man with dreams, a family, a home filled with laughter. But life has a way of taking and breaking, and Samuel had lost his wife to illness, his savings to medical bills, and nearly everything else to despair. All that remained was his daughter, Emily, the only reason he still fought, still breathed, still dared to hope. Emily was 17, a bright and determined girl. Unlike her father, she did not carry weariness in her eyes. Instead, hers sparkled with ambition. She had been accepted into an elite internship program at the very company where her father now cleaned floors. It was a chance at a better life, a doorway to opportunities Samuel could never have given her on his own. He had hidden the truth from her, that he worked there, in the shadows, cleaning up after the powerful. He wanted her to walk those hallways with pride, not burdened by shame. But secrets, like dust, have a way of being uncovered. On that fateful morning, the CEO, Richard Langston, one of the wealthiest and most feared men in the city, discovered Samuel lingering near the executive wing. Richard was a man who despised weakness. To him, success was earned through ruthless determination, and anyone who failed was nothing but a burden to society. Seeing Samuel in his janitor's uniform, standing near the door of a conference room where Emily was set to present her project, ignited something cruel inside him. He shouted at Samuel with disdain, his words not just meant to humiliate but to erase. "You don't belong here." The crowd of interns, executives, and staff gasped. But then came Samuel's reply, steady, unflinching, devastating, "I'm here for my daughter." Those words pierced the air. People shifted uncomfortably. Some looked away, ashamed of their own silence. Emily, standing inside the room with her presentation notes trembling in her hands, heard everything. Her heart shattered, not because of the humiliation, but because she realized the truth. Her father, the man she thought was simply working odd jobs somewhere, had been here all along, enduring humiliation, back-breaking work, and silent nights, all so she could have a chance at this very moment. Richard sneered, mocking Samuel's declaration. To him, love and sacrifice were weakness. But Samuel stood his ground. He explained, his voice breaking, how every mop he pushed, every floor he scrubbed, was not for pride or recognition but to keep a roof over Emily's head and a fire burning in her dreams. The lobby, once filled with whispers, grew still again. For the first time, the powerful CEO was confronted with something he couldn't buy or destroy with his wealth, a father's unyielding love. From that day forward, something shifted. Emily's presentation that morning was shaky, but when she spoke, she did so with her father's strength behind her words. She talked not only about her project but about resilience, about ordinary people who fight unseen battles every day. The judges saw more than an intern, they saw a girl shaped by sacrifice, by a story more powerful than numbers and graphs. She earned her place, not because of pity, but because she had proven she had the fire to rise. As for Richard Langston, the millionaire CEO who believed Samuel didn't belong, he found himself haunted by what he had witnessed. Behind his empire of glass and steel, he too had once been a son, loved by a father who sacrificed everything for him. Somewhere along the path of ruthless ambition, he had buried that memory. Samuel's courage unearthed it again. Weeks later, Richard did something no one expected. He called Samuel into his office, not as a janitor, but as a man. He apologized, awkwardly at first, because apologies were foreign to him. Then he offered Emily a full scholarship sponsored by the company, and he gave Samuel a stable job in maintenance management, a position of dignity, not invisibility. It wasn't charity, but recognition. For once, Richard understood that success is not just measured in wealth, but in the lives we lived along the way. The story of the janitor and his daughter spread quietly through the company, whispered in break rooms and hallways. It became a reminder that greatness is not about where you stand, but what you stand for. And Samuel, he didn't crave recognition, all he wanted was for his daughter to have wings strong enough to fly. But that day, when she wrapped her arms around him in front of everyone and whispered, "I'm proud of you, Dad," Samuel felt richer than any millionaire could ever dream. If this story touched your heart, if it reminded you of the sacrifices parents make every day, please take a moment to like this video, subscribe to Royal Stories, and share it with someone you care about. Your engagement helps us continue bringing real, emotional stories to life, stories that remind us all of what truly matters. And before we end, I have a special request. Drop a comment below and tell us, what is one sacrifice someone has made for you that you will never forget? Your words might just inspire someone else today.